I think it's crooked. Hold on. It's perfect. Welcome back to the channel. Ladies, gentlemen, might I present to you the mighty Browning Pro Steel TL-30 Gun Safe. Let's get into it. Did you see me move it? I was moving it around. That didn't happen. Why? Because the Browning TL-30 weighs 3,090 pounds. I'm not going to move that around very easily without help. So a TL safe, before I go too far, we're gonna stop right there and we're gonna talk. What does that really mean? Well, when you hear or you see somebody make a comment on a video online, it's like, that's not a real safe. Or you hear somebody tell you, it's like, oh man, I own a jewelry store and I've got to have these type of safes or whatever. So TL, so insurance companies are looking for that. And there's a multitude of ratings within the TL family, long and short of it, okay? The TL-30 means that Browning Pro Steel put together and designed a safe box and told Underwriters Laboratory, I'm gonna send this to you. I'm gonna pay your fee and you cannot break into my safe in 30 minutes with whatever hand tools you want to. And they couldn't. And that's how we got this thing. That may not seem very long, but I'm telling you that they told guys and gals with whatever hand tools they wanted to, drills and such forth, right? Ain't happening. Get ahead, right? Let's figure out why, okay? So right off the bat, let's go ahead and talk about the size because it's here. This thing is 68.5 inches tall. It is 43.5 inches wide. The body is 6 inches deep. That does not account for this. That does not account for these. So we need a little extra for that, right? So this is you got a lot that you really care about and just not willing to lose it for any reason. Fire, burglar, ain't happening, right? This is that notch up that everybody talks about, okay? Lots of steel, again, over 3,000 pounds. It's the size of, the average large gun safe, but weighs, a couple thousand pounds more. So there's a few different ways that we get there by doing that. One, like I said, just steel. There's just steel everywhere. So the door, the body, everything, what they're gonna do is they're gonna start with an 11 gauge steel, which is super common stuff, right? We talk about that in lots of safes that we show. Difference is that not only is there a layer of the 12, like on the body, for example, there's a layer of the 12 on the outside, there's a layer of the 12 on the inside. They're 2.5 inches apart, okay? They're 2.5 inches apart, and then inside of there are these 1/8 inch thick steel what do they call them, L bars? The L bars go in there designed again, so if I'm trying to hack and cut and go through and everything else, well then I'm gonna find this, right? But before I get there, what else is in between, that 11 gauge, that 1/8 inch L bar that's in there, okay? That is their very own little creation that they talk about, that is concrete. We talk about that with other safes, right? People saying concrete, that is concrete. Difference being is that this is, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up because sometimes I miss a word or two, okay? That is the high strength aggregate concrete with the L bar reinforcement, with the steel fibers and the extra adhesive resin. It's a lot. What they're telling you is that they have found a way to bond their concrete to be even stronger and tighter, including with the steel and everything. So no matter how I'm trying to hatchet my way in and drill and punch and everything else, I'm just going against the grain at this point, if you will. That makes for an exceptionally thick wall and thick door. The door's got all of that going on. The door's also got things like the hardened steel plates, right? Those are what, 1/4-inch hard plate behind the door, right? That I'm gonna have to try to run through. Let's say I make it through the thickness of the door. Let's say I make it through the 1/4-inch thick hard plate. And then I'm just beating my way through and I'm almost to that lock and I'm gonna get into it. Well, I heard something and it sounded like glass breaking. And it was. It was a tempered glass, a glass relocker system that when broken and shatters, it releases from 4 points to really shut the door down. Now we're not getting past the door, so we just gotta keep drilling and hacking and going. And the safe is available with an electronic keypad as always, or you can swap it over and get a mechanical dial as well. Let's take a look at the thickness of the door. Okay, so the door's no joke. Here's another 2.5 inches that you have to fight through again to try to get to the boltwork, to the 1/4-inch hard plate, to the relocker. We've got the bolts, and there's 7 of them here. One on the top, one on the bottom, then from the side is the rest. And then on the back side, pretty nifty little thing. There's this 1-inch thick steel bar, basically, that runs the whole length of the door, and it goes around and it wraps itself around the backside of the door jamb. So it doesn't actually need bolts going in and out of there. It's even harder because it's just a solid piece of steel wrapping its way around another piece of solid steel, which is the door frame. And so again, the most intriguing thing about it, it's also a gun safe. That's crazy. So the other thing, before I go too far into the gun safe world about it, is that it is a 2-hour at 1750 degree fire rating. So what I'm saying is that it's 120 minutes at 1750 degrees. I'm gonna try to open that up a little bit more. It's a lot of door, Here we go. Let's see what that looks like on the graph. We would do the lights, please. If the fire was to reach over 1700 degrees and it stays there for 120 minutes, the internal temperature of our Browning TL30 will not breach 275. Lights? All right. So I said it's a gun safe. It really is. It's a 52 gun safe, okay? As you can see, we've got the DPX door panel that we know from our Browning Pro Steel safes that we see. This particular one, it does have the faux leather interior. But here on the door, we've positioned ourselves with the 10 pistols. Right here on the door, we've also gone ahead, we've thrown a couple rifles on it so we can see these are scoped, because that's a scope saver. So obviously if I had another one of these bolt actions, I could put it in right next to that one and so forth. They both are on the door, on the quick access barrel rack. Got the molly, so if we need to add anything that way, and some extra little pouches and stuff of that nature, all very useful, obviously. The exceptionally modular interior, let's go ahead and talk about that. These are the Axis shelves. They are solid steel shelves, and then they are coated in polymer so that they're not gonna rip and they're not gonna tear, they're not gonna stain. They're gonna last a very long time. At that, they're rated for the 72 pounds each. So that's what, 3,000 rounds is 223? So pretty impressive. We've got the file folder box here. We've got the drawer with the insert. This particular insert looks like the jewelry insert. So that comes with it, that comes with it. The racks come with it, the door comes with it. Also, I said there was 10 there. There's also a position to hold 5 pistols right here. I slid a couple on there so you can see there's room for 3 more. And then the pistol rack, that's an add-on piece. So if you have more pistols, you've got some very expensive collector's items, that's why you bought this TL30. Well, that piece can be bought and bolted to any shelf or every shelf that you have, right? As you can see, we stood up some weapons in here. We really wanted to show, again, the idea is that the The buttstocks set on these feet, these rests that have to come inside and they have to have room to clear. You can see that how far out I have these buttstocks, and what I've shown you here, specifically these two right here. There is a lever in the back with no optic on it. Then the lever in front of it does have an optic. That's exactly how the Browning Pro Steel access system works at its best, is that we put them in vertically, and then again, if we start with no optic, we put the optic version in front of it. We can stand up and we can put a lot of weapons in here. We've got the shelves here. Now, I sold this to a lovely couple, the last one, and yeah, did not own a gun. I think he owned a few, that's a lie. He did own a few because he was gonna put them on the door, but then they went ahead and we just ordered them a whole bunch of more shelves, and they just shelved the whole thing out. So conveniently, again, if you do have pawn shop, we do with a bunch of cash, if you've got a jewelry store, and if you're into tax records or health records, medical records, you're into coin collecting, things that get really expensive really, really fast. That's what's awesome about their TL30 is it's got a very modular interior, which is also very well done, fancy interior, as opposed to a lot of TLs, you open them up and they look about the same on the inside as they do on the outside. It's very blah. It's just got some metal shelves in it. This allows us some flexibility to move some things around. So like if you're in the art business, our auction business, and you've got these different sized things that you need to be holding and keep very safe, well, use these modular interiors, and that's how you can get away with that. Now, it can be bolted to the ground. It does have 4 holes in the bottom so that it can be put in place and bolted down. I know it seems silly for a 3,000 pound safe, but people will try. And so, again, bolting down a safe is considered 50% of the security, so keep that in mind, okay? Quick, check the notes. High things that I forgot about. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. I think we've covered the absolute vast majority of the knowledge that we're pushing on this safe right here. The big thing is like we tell everybody, it's, hey, this is a TL30, okay? So again, a jewelry store has to have something rated by UL to reach at least this, you know, there's also a TL15, which is a hair below that. But for the most part, you know what I mean, to cover, for their insurance company, excuse me, to cover them, we need a TL, and that's what we've done here. So, big kudos to the Browning Pro Steel gang for creating an amazing box. I dare say, probably one of the strongest gun safes in America, okay? Down in the comments section, go ahead and hit me up. Let's go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, follow along, okay? I know I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna look at the cameraman and act like we know what we're talking about. I'm gonna say that this thing retails for about 14,000, but wait. Okay, there's the price, excuse me. So we deliver, we install, we move these things, we ship them, we do whatever you need us to do, okay? So again, questions, comments below, follow, tag, hashtag me, I don't know, tweet me, do something. Oh, X me, sorry, no, tweet me. And I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.